Alright, live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Day in History, aka TDH. I am Alexander, UVRU. Why is this not where? There we go. Yeah, UVRU. Okay, that was weird. And we will be joined by the Golden Loon here shortly. Today is, of course, what is today? Tears' Day, aka Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that occurred to date throughout the annals of recorded history. We have I think it's a 35-page document, 34-page document to go through today. Starting with the year 982, King Otto II and his Frankish army defeated in pitched battle with Muslim, or they were defeated in a pitched battle with the Muslim army of Al-Qasim at Cape Colonna in southern Italy. Huh. So, what were the Muslims doing in southern Italy? You know, they were... Yeah, well, they got into Spain. You know, they really got deep into Europe before they got repulsed and everything. Welcome to the show. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing all right. Here's a thumbnail for today's video.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look at it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know, the title is Bastille Day, Tape Measure, Corkboard, Machu Picchu, and more. So, yeah. Look at that. So,
cool, Machu Picchu.
Yeah. So, what else we got here? 1077, Bayeux tapestry likely first went on display to decorate the nave during the consecration of Notre Dame in Bayeux Cathedral, or the Notre Dame of Bayeux Cathedral in Bayeux, Normandy. And I do have an image of that. Look at that. Like, it's a very long tapestry. Like, I'm gonna image search this. Yeah, like that's just a part of it. They have like you can see like it has to go like around the wall or something because it curves here and everything. But like but just like, you know, look at this. It just goes on.
That's a tapestry.
Yeah.
Wow.
But look at this. Like it just goes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Like it's huge. Oh. What else do we got here? 1420, 420 smoke it. We have the battle at Vigadov Hill, a decisive victory of Czech Hussite forces commanded by Jan Žižka against Crusade army led by Sigismund, Holy Roman Emperor. So this occurred in Prague. The Tabarets defeated Bohemia. Okay. 1430, Joan of Arc, taken by the Burgundians in May, was handed over to Pierre Cauchin, the Bishop of Beauvais. All right. 1456, John Hunyadi and his forces defeated the Ottoman fleet on the Danube, allowing them to reinforce and supply the besieged city of Belgrade. And look at that, his name, it's not on primary source, so Hyundai, like the car.
Hyundai. Maybe he founded the car.
Wait, no, it's Hunyadi. Sorry, not
different.
Hyundai.
It's different.
Hunyadi. I completely mispronounced his name.
I like Hyundai though.
Yeah. 1570, Pope Pius V introduced a standardized Roman Missal, the text of the Latin Mass, as a reform of the Council of Trent. It remained largely unchanged for 400 years.
Ooh.
So the text of the Latin Mass. So let's do an image search.
Lasts 400 years.
Well, several things. Christianity has lasted.
Well, yeah.
Judaism, Islam,
True.
you know, Buddhism. Like a lot of things last. Yeah. But brief history of the Roman Missal. The Pope Pius V promulgated an edition of the Missal Romanum, that was now obligatory throughout the Latin Church. This was the first official attempt at uniformity in the celebration of the Mass. So, yeah. 1581, the English Jesuit priest Edmund Champion, arrested for sedition in Anglican England. He was later hung, drawn, and quartered.
Ooh.
Yikes. You remember what drawn and quartered means?
Yeah, I do. No, what is it?
They basically take 4 horses.
That's right.
And they tie your wrists and your ankles to one of each horse and then just set them off in different directions. Yeah. Rip, you know. Yeah. You got quartered. So 1596, Anglo-Spanish War. English and Dutch troops sacked the Spanish city of Cadiz before leaving the next day. That's a little rude. Didn't even stay, you know, for 48 hours. I mean, wow. 1698, the Darien scheme begins with 5 ships bearing about 1,200 people, departing Leith for the Isthmus of Panama. What is this Darien scheme? It sounds a little, you know, here we go, a little suspicious there.
Bound in Panama, the Darien Strait.
Oh, okay, so maybe it's a scheme about that or something. So Darien scheme. Let's throw this link in here. This link that I'm collecting and all other links that we collect throughout the show will appear in the underbar of the description below after the live stream as per usual. We already do have a lot of cool links down there, including not limited to all things Omni Coalition, our sources and music in the background, and a handful of other things. But anyway, about this Darien scheme, or the Darien venture, it was an unsuccessful attempt, backed largely by investors of the Kingdom of Scotland to gain wealth and influence by establishing New Caledonia, or Britain in Panama, a colony in the Darien Gap of the territory of present-day Panama in the late 1690s. The plan was for the colony located in the Gulf of Darien to establish and manage an overland route to connect the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. So basically like an overland canal type of thing. It sounds like they're trying to, get the land to capitalize on that high demand. So that is a scheme.
It corrected me, it's the Darien Gap, not Darien Strait.
Ah, okay. 1769, the de Portola expedition established a base in California and set out to find the port of Monterey, which is now Monterey, California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've been to Monterey.
Yeah.
1771, Mission San Antonio de Padua was founded in California, by the Franciscan friar Junipero Serra. Serra. Okay. 1789, the French Revolution began with the storming of the Bastille prison in Paris, now celebrated as Bastille Day, France's national day. So we have from the other source here, the storming of the Bastille in Paris. This event escalated the widespread discontent into the French Revolution. Bastille Day is still celebrated annually in France. Oh. So this is their I guess, not Independence Day, but their revolution, they're independent from themselves. Like getting rid of the bourgeois and all that stuff. But yeah, look, like the Bastille prison, they apparently turned a whole castle fortification into a prison, and then all these people, they stormed it and they got them out. It's all during the revolution and everything. So moving on up to 1790, the Fête de la Fédération, attended by Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, was held across France on the first anniversary of the French Revolution. Kind of interesting. How those people themselves would become victims of another revolution not too far along after this.
Meaning what?
Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They got guillotined.
Yeah.
So I think that was during the Reign of Terror. 1791, the Priestley riots drove Joseph Priestley, a supporter of the French Revolution, out of Birmingham, England. So they lasted until apparently July 17th, so for 3 days. These Priestley riots. 1795, the French National Convention declared La Marseillaise by Claude Joseph Rouget de l'Île France's national anthem. 3 years later, 1798, we have the first direct U.S. federal tax, on states enacted to finance military buildup. Dwellings, land, and slaves were subject to a tariff. Okay, well, this Sedition Act is something else. Okay, why did I put this up here? That was weird. Also in 1798, we have the U.S. Sedition Act prohibited, quote, any false, seditious, or any false, scandalous, and malicious writing, end quote, about the government. To elaborate on that from the other source here, it says the Sedition Act of 1798 became law in the United States of America, making it a federal crime, a felony, to write, publish, or utter, speak, false or malicious statements about the United States government.
Wow.
Can you say fascism, totalitarianism?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what act that happened, but I hope they got rid of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we did talk about this. I think we talked about when it was repealed.
Oh, okay.
Already, because I remember reacting to this before and talking about this, not too long ago.
Good.
But yeah, no, this was right after actually becoming a country. So this was just something to stop anybody else from trying to start another, because they're very destabilized.
Yeah. True.
So, and actually, I was just watching a video, while I was in the gym. It was really interesting. I was working out, listening to not this one here. That's the history of England. This one here. The election of George Washington was weirder than you think. Because there was no campaign, there was no this, there was no that,
right.
And when they initially started, the person who got the most votes obviously became president, and the person who got the second most votes became vice president, and for obvious reasons, that eventually, very much like the Sedition Act, and for the same reason, they didn't want two people to be butting heads,
right.
And there was one section that actually intrigued me right here. Let me just play this part here.
That you would end up voting for Clinton. Maybe Washington Clinton, or maybe Adams Clinton. you could do that.
Like,
so just
essentially, like they're setting up because it was pretty much planned that George Washington was going to be the first president.
Yeah.
But who was going to be the first vice president? And because of certain people, like anti-constitutionalists at the time, they could very well easily with the system vote in their man as the vice president, and then now you have a constitutionalist and anti-constitutionalist fighting each other and not doing shit for the country.
Because a lot of people didn't want that constitution. They wanted to go back to independent colonies.
Exactly. Let me play this right here really quick.
The Federalist electors could vote for Washington and Adams. And then the anti-Federalist electors could vote for Adams and Clinton. And so then Adams ends up getting the most votes. Washington comes in second, Clinton comes in third. That makes Adams the president, Washington the vice president.
See? Yeah. They even knew this stuff back then. So and I was really pumping it on the horrible machine watching this, but yeah, let's see here, U.S.'s first election. Let me throw this link in here as well. So, but yeah, I'd like I'll post this in Discord as well in their history because it is a very interesting video to watch. So. What else do we got here? Moving on up to 1822, we have the date planned for the slave revolt in Charleston, South Carolina, by Denmark Vesey and Peter Poyas. So his name was Denmark, not the country Denmark. Mm-hmm. The plot was already uncovered in June, though, and I think we covered that as well. 1823, Switzerland began signed boundaries for fugitives. What does that mean? I'm going to look that up here. Okay, let's just telling you that. As mentioned in historical GAI, thank you for telling me what I already had. But what is this
I'm not sure.
Like prison boundary, like
Switzerland signs boundaries
for fugitives.
Maybe they're confined to certain areas. Is all I can get out of it.
But if they're fugitives, how do you confine them? They're fugitive. They're running away from you. So how do you put boundaries in? To people who then they're not fugitives anymore.
Well,
I don't know. If anybody can look that up, 1823. Where is this right here? What the heck this means? Let us know in the comments. That'd be wonderful. Do we have any comments though? Nothing on YouTube. Anything on Rumble? No, but we do have another viewer on Rumble. Hello, viewer. 1845. The first postmaster's provisional stamps were issued in New York City, and I'm going to do a quick image search of that just to show. They're just stamps of George Washington. First. Postmaster's provisional stamps, or whatever. I don't really know what those are, but we've covered that. We'll get to that. 1850, we had the first public demonstration of ice made via refrigeration by Florida physician John Gorey. And what's interesting is when I image search this, we've covered this machine. This looks familiar, huh? That's the first ice making machine.
Oh, okay. That thing.
Yeah. And so this is when they demonstrated it. Yeah. Yeah, on this day, May 6th. So we covered this back on May 6th, 1851. Oh, so that's when he received a patent. So because this is 1850, so this is before the demonstration, or after the demonstration.
This is when he actually developed it, I guess.
Yeah, well, no. This is when he demonstrated it here. And in 1851, he received a patent.
He got the patent for it.
Yeah. 1853, New Zealand held its first general election. Awesome. We also have U.S. President Franklin Pierce opened the exhibition of the Industry of All Nations, a World's Fair, at the Crystal Palace in New York City, which is now on the site of Bryant Park. So if you know where Bryant Park is, this is where this was. But, here's artist renditions of this World's Fair. Large, magnificent structures, with huge, this is 1850s, and they built this temporarily. No, something's weird. Look into the Tartaria, mud flood theory and all that stuff. There's a lot of things that they tore down. They erase history. Something's wrong. 1861, General McDowell advanced toward Fairfax Courthouse, Virginia, with 40,000 troops. He means business. We also had a naval engagement at Wilmington, North Carolina. USS Daylight established a blockade. Yeah, beat the daylights out of them. 1863, Jews of Holstein, Germany were granted equality. Oh, it's not very often we get Jews and Germany in the same sentence that ends up well. Yeah. 1864, gold was discovered in Helena, Montana. 1865, English mountaineer Edward Whymper led the first expedition to climb the Matterhorn. Ford did die, although on the descent, sorry. So on their way back,
On their descent,
4
okay.
died. That's terrible.
Yeah.
1865 as well, the Chickasaw Nation was the last of the 5 tribes to surrender to the Union following the Confederate defeat. 1868, Alvin J. Fellows of New Haven, Connecticut, patented the tape measure. And I do have it. See, that's a tape measure.
Yeah.
Like, from the side view, that's all the tape round out.
Yeah. Well, it's a cloth. It's not what we think of as a tape measure today.
Yes, it's not that plastic thing.
No,
They didn't even have plastic back then. So yeah, you're right.
Now
It was
they're metal.
cloth.
Now they're metal. Right there, the yellow one. That's metal.
That's metal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. If it was plastic, it'd be brittle. But yeah, it was cloth. It shows here, you can kind of see how it's cloth and everything. So you had to pull it tight.
Well, then you wind it back in.
Yeah, it was before the spring-loaded thing and all that stuff. What else do we got here? 1870, the United States Congress granted Mary Todd Lincoln a life pension in the amount of $3,000 a year. Mm-hmm. You know what? What's $3,000 worth today from 1870? Because...
Why is they giving that to Mary Todd Lincoln?
Because...
he was assassinated?
Yeah. He was assassinated in 1868. Or no, it was 65. Yeah, it was right after the Civil War ended. So this is 5 years later. But yeah, no, I think they put in something where the first lady gets a stipend or something. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So
how much is 3,018?
Well, let's see, 1870, $3,000, 2025 inflation calculator. But what's your guess?
50,000.
50,000? Okay, stop your bets.
Probably low.
What is this? Here we go. What is this one? 76 million.
Oh!
Wait, no, that's
that
not right.
That can't be right.
No, that's not right.
No, 3,000. That's 300,000 or something. Value of 3 million.
3,000. Calculate. There we go. $76,745.73 today. Okay.
So what did I say?
50,000.
Okay.
No, not bad. Yeah, as soon as I said another million, wait a minute, that's not right. So. 1874, the Chicago Fire of 1874 burnt down 47 acres of the city, destroying 812 buildings, killing 20 people, and resulted in the fire insurance industry demanding municipal reforms from Chicago City Council.
And is that the one where a cow kicked over a bucket or something?
They've had several fires in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's one of them. And this looks like an AI image, the more I looked at it. But I wasn't entirely sure. But here's an actual artist rendition showing all the damage. Yeah. So, it's 47 acres sounds like a lot, but it's only a little bit.
It's pretty small compared to the city.
Yeah, but what
still
burnt?
a lot burning.
Yeah, what burnt? This kind of coincides with the whole Tartaria thing. Within 100 to 150 year period, every major city around the entire world almost entirely burnt down, or at least anything with documents and all that stuff burnt down. It just seems like they erased history or something. So
this is 812 buildings. That's a bunch.
Yeah. 1876, British battleship HMS Thunderer boiler exploded during full power sea trial near Portsmouth, England. 45 sailors were killed and 40 others were injured. It could have been so much worse. 77, general strike brought U.S. Railroad to a standstill. I wonder, over what? Hours, money, vacation time, union,
probably money.
Were they unionized? How many were involved? How long did it go?
They had vacation time, but mostly money, I bet.
Yeah. 1881, Stadium outlaw Billy the Kid was shot and killed by Sheriff Pat Garrett in the Maxwell House at Fort Sumner, New Mexico. Not Fort Sumter, Fort Sumner. And Maxwell House. So he got killed by the coffee company? Or at the coffee company? Dang. 1886, the Temple Street Cable Railway began cable car service in Los Angeles, California. Temple Street, of course, being named after the Freemason Temple. Frickin' Freemasons. 1891, the Stadium John T. Smith patented the corkboard. We have a corkboard right over there.
We still have that cable car there, I believe. It goes up the hill to the next...
Probably.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the same one.
You know what? I'm gonna look this up here. Temple Hill cable car. I mean, it's not showing me.
Yeah, it just goes up the hill to the next street.
Ah, okay. That's it? It seems like such a waste.
That's not it now. Maybe it was longer then. I don't know.
I don't know.
It still runs today.
Anyway, we have a corkboard right over there.
Yeah.
On the ground over there. But here's. Now this
I wonder if that's one of the original ones.
I don't think so. But what's weird is I looked up the article, 1891, stating John T. Smith patents corkboard. Why am I getting guns? Like, and then what the heck is this? An ice pick? A black man patents a sprinkler. What the fuck does this have to do with corkboard?
I don't know.
I mean, cool, but seriously, I looked up a corkboard. Like, 1900, armies of the Eight Nation Alliance captured Tientsin during the Boxer Rebellion. 1902, the Campanile in St. Mark's Square, Venice collapsed, also demolishing the Loggia. It was later reconstructed 10 years later in 1912. And we all know it's this tower in Venice.
Oh.
You know? You recognize that tower.
Is that the Leaning Tower? No.
No, that's in Pisa.
Yeah. That's
No, this one. In Venice, Italy. You know,
okay.
the gondolas, you know,
okay.
you know, the freaking, you know, water pathways, the floating city, you know.
Yeah.
Do you recognize that?
No, I don't.
Wow, okay.
I don't know Venice well enough.
Wow, okay. That's
Never been there.
Neither have I, but but yeah, no, like apparently it collapsed. Like that's an artist's rendition of it. Yeah, it's not good. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1902, Peruvian explorer and farmer Agustin Lizarraga discovered Machu Picchu, the lost city of the Incas. You know, very interesting city. Like, there's so much about it that we don't know. Like things were preserved up there, up in the Andes, and right, the Andes Mountains. Yeah. But because like the air and everything, like things don't like disintegrate and all that stuff. Like there's a lot of things that are preserved. And there's an entire thing in the mountain itself. Like there's all that stuff on the surface, all the terraces and everything. But like
terraces, so they can farm. So all kinds of stuff.
But where do they live? You know, they lived like around the area. There's so much about Machu Picchu that people don't realize. I can't even begin to start explaining. But I've seen a few things over the past couple of days about it actually. So. 1911, 46 inches of rain began to fall in Baguio in the Philippines. That's a lot.
Yeah.
We also have Harry Artwood, an exhibition pilot for the Wright brothers, was greeted by President William Howard Taft after he landed his aeroplane on the south lawn of the White House, having flown it from Boston. That's awesome. And I actually do have an image of that right there. It looks like it's coming into land right there. So that's wild.
Yeah.
Like, let's image search this really quick.
Try to get that close today, and you get blown out of the air.
You will not get that close today.
No, not even close.
July 14th, 1911, pilot Harry N. Artwood became the first person to land an airplane on the White House South Lawn. The Wright brothers aviator was greeted by President William Howard Taft after completing his flight from Boston, marking a major milestone in early Canadian aviation.
Oh, they must have known he was coming.
Oh, absolutely.
The whole plan thing.
Oh, yeah. No, it was absolutely planned.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, if it wasn't planned, why would, this was before the Secret Service, I think, was at least covering the president. I don't remember when.
No idea.
Because the Secret Service was first about guarding the bullion. They only did the whole president thing later on. Yeah, no, like the Secret Service was first, like, for the gold depository and all that stuff. There's three major places up in New York, and of course the depository at Fort Knox, not Fort Knox itself. And then some other place, I forgot where it was. But yeah, no, like they were all about protecting the money. And then later on, they extended that to protecting the president, and then they extended that to protecting the president family, and then the vice president and his family and all that stuff. So, but yeah, if whatever the case, if it was unplanned, the president wouldn't be there to greet him. Somebody, I don't know, maybe he would be. 1914, Canadian engineer Robert Goddard was granted the first patent for liquid-fueled rocket design. Ooh. And we also have Rolex received the first wristwatch Class A certificate from Kew Observatory.
I don't know what that means, but I know Rolex.
Yeah. We also have 1914 as well. National League's Boston Braves started their climb from last place to World Series sweep.
Whoa.
That's a comeback.
That is,
yeah.
Especially this late in the year.
Yeah. 1915, beginning of the McMahon-Hussein correspondence between Hussein bin Ali, Sarif of Mecca, and the British official Henry McMahon concerning the Arab revolt against the Ottoman Empire. 1916, 13.2 inches or 33.6 centimeters of rainfall at Effingham, South Carolina. This was a state record until 1999. You know what? Knowing that there's a city called Fuckingham, Effingham, like. You're doing what to a ham? If it wasn't for all this Lone Star tick, alpha-gal syndrome disease thing about red meat, I would want to actually move to Effingham. It's like, where do you live? I live in Fuckingham. What? It's better than Swastika. That actually is a city up in Canada, Swastika.
Wow.
Yeah, legitimately. Like, here, like, I'll just look it up. Swastika, Canada City. Right here, Swastika, Ontario.
Huh.
It's a real place. I haven't been bullshitting.
I believe you.
Yeah. 1916, we have 13.2 inches, or 33.6 centimeters. Oh, we got that one. 1916 as well, St. Louis Brown, Ernie Koob, I almost called him Knob, pitched all 17 innings for 14 hits in a 0-0 tie versus Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. Battle of Delville Wood began as an action within the Battle of the Somme, lasting until September 3rd in 1916. 1921, Nicola Sacco and Bartholomew Vanzetti, convicted of killing their shoe company's paymaster and sentenced to death in Dedham, Massachusetts.
Wow.
Well, they got sentenced to death in Dedham, so here we go. Another. What's with these hams? We have fucking ham and now Dedham. Well, I guess it's dead now, you know? But no, like, why would you kill your company's paymaster? What the so weird. 27, first commercial airplane flight in Hawaii. Cool. 32, Belgian Chamber rules Dutch language for education of Flanders. You know, you need to have some kind of, uniformity there. 33, in a decree called the Gleichstellung, Adolf Hitler abolished all German political parties except the Nazis. We covered that a little bit yesterday. We covered this yesterday. But then we also have Germany began mandatory sterilization of people with hereditary illnesses. Nazi eugenics program began with the proclamation of the law for the prevention of hereditarily diseased offspring, requiring the compulsory sterilization of any citizen whom suffered from alleged genetic disorders. And where do you think they got all those ideas from? Eugenics?
You tell me.
The United States of America. We invented the concept of eugenics. Like, what's his face? Margaret Sanger?
Yeah.
Like, that's essentially like, Planned Parenthood is a type of eugenics. Like, it's targeting a certain group of people.
Yes, it is.
It's, so 1933. Oh, and also, like, we did something that inspired the Nazis to do something else, and then that inspired us back again to do Project MK Ultra. So it bounced back.
I have no idea what that is.
MK Ultra, we've spoken about this. That was that one where the government was, without people knowing, giving them like LSD to see how they react. And you told me you had a friend who kind of went schizo.
His brother.
Yeah.
Older brother.
I think he was a target. So
drove his car into a house.
Yeah, that sounds about. Let me. What was that? What? Project MK Ultra. Let me just look this up here for you. So that way you can get a touch base on this. It was an illegal human experimentation program designed and undertaken by the United States Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, to develop procedures and identify drugs that can be used in altering human behavior. The term MK Ultra is a CIA cryptonym. MK is an arbitrary prefix standing for the Office of Technical Service, and Ultra is an arbitrary word out of a dictionary, yada yada yada. Let's see here. Project MK Ultra began in 1953, was halted in 1972. They used numerous methods to manipulate its subjects' mental states and brain functions. Go away, ad, fuck off. Where was I? Such as the covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD,
That's what he took.
And other chemicals without the subject's consent. Additionally, other methods beyond chemical compounds were used, including electroshock, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, and other forms of torture. And we did that to our own people without consent or anything.
He didn't know what he was getting, but I think he consented to join the program because he is a student at UCLA.
Yeah, they did a lot of that too. There's so much fishy stuff that our government still does to this
No
day.
one had ever heard in the early 60s of LSD.
Yeah.
Came not too far after that, but...
Yeah. Well, we've covered, LSD was only, synthesized or what it made, in the 20s or something. We've covered what's-his-face accidentally taking it and then 3 days later intentionally taking it. So... Anyway, 1933, Headley Verity Bulls out Essex twice in a day, 8:47 and 9:44 for Yorkshire at Leighton. That sounds like cricket to me. 34, we have 116 degrees Fahrenheit, or 47 Celsius, is recorded in Orangrand, New Mexico, setting a state record which was later broken on June 27th, 94. But what was the temperature that broke it? 34 as well, Philadelphia Phillies scored 11 runs in an inning, beating Cincinnati 18-0. I don't think they needed those 11 runs. You know, that's kind of ridiculous right there. Do you mind turning that light on, please? 34 as well, the New York Times erroneously declared Babe Ruth's 700 home run record to stand for all time. Yep. 36, 1 million people demonstrated to support French People's Front government. 36 as well, 116 degrees Fahrenheit, 47 Celsius, Colleyville, Indiana. This is their state record. 38, Benito Mussolini's fascist regime published the Anti-Semitic Manifesto of Race. Well, you know, anti-Semites are not just the Jews, so anti-Jewish, you know, manifesto. So here we go. 1940, due to beanball wars, Spalding advertised batting helmets with ear flaps.
Yeah.
You know, which it's a real beanball war, so people were intentionally starting to hit each other in the ear. That's terrible.
Payback. Yeah.
They should be like kicked out of the game, kicked out of the team, you know, kicked out of the league permanently.
Yeah.
You know, forever.
Wasn't the case.
That's so it lets them get away with it. That's terrible.
You know why they can't let them get away with that? Because they're paying these guys too much money. That's a valuable asset you're trying to hit in the head. They won't stand for that, the owners. It's all about money.
Well, I understand. So kick out the people trying to hit the person. Ban them. You know? 1940, Lithuania became Lithuanian SSR. You know, communists there. Mom's time. Let's see. I'm going to start with this one here. Ceasefire of Joan of Arc, which ended combat in Lebanon and Syria. That's a good article there.
Joan of Arc, though, what's with that?
Yeah, I know that's a weird name, you know, but like, you know, I'll take a good article because originally we would have started off with the 6,000 Lithuanian Jews are exterminated at Vyazvin camp by German Einsatzgruppen SS with the assistance of local collaborators. That would have been a terrible way to start Mom's time. Yeah. But then we have jam ration in Holland because of the war. 42, first transport of Amsterdam Jews to Westbrook. But then we have riots against Jews in Amsterdam as well. 42, the Warsaw session of Congress, the Quit India resolution was approved, authorizing Mahatma Gandhi to campaign for India's independence from Britain. Excellent.
There you go.
In the heart of World War II, no less. 43, in Diamond, Missouri, the George Washington Carver National Monument became the first United States national monument to honor a black stadium. Excellent. There it is right there.
Nice.
It's a little bit of a shame, though. It's such a lame monument. Like, you know, that's all he gets. Just, you know, a brick pedestal and a bust. I mean, why doesn't he have a freaking, like, you know, statue or something? This man invented peanut butter, okay? he deserves a freaking, like, ornate, palatial thing, you know?
They should have at least made the stand in the shape of a peanut.
Yeah. Well, then planters would probably sue or something. I don't know. Friggin' planters. Anyway, 44, we have an attempt to liberate prisoners from Amsterdam failed. John Post was arrested. It's unfortunate. We got U.S. assault on Countess's Cotenane. What the heck is even that?
I don't know.
Like, Operation
US
Cobra.
assault.
Okay, well...
We assaulted something.
Yeah. Part of Operation Overlord, so that's part of the Normandy landing. So it's somewhere in Normandy. Whatever this... It's a location.
Yeah.
So... 1945, battleship USS South Dakota was the first U.S. ship to bombard Japan. Finally over there. Lou's time. 46, Cleveland's Lou Bourdieu hit 4 doubles and a home run, but the Red Sox won 11-10 on Ted Williams' 3 home runs with 8 RBIs. Wow. Dr. Benjamin Spock, his book Common Sense, Book of Baby and Child Care was published. Okay.
Oh, Spock, yeah. What's his name?
The Spock is the Star Trek, but Benjamin Spock is an actual guy.
Yeah, he was a child
author. A child author. Yeah. You got to finish your statement.
Yeah, I know.
Especially you don't want to leave it on a cliffhanger after saying child. Child what? Child what? I want to know. Like, you know, do we have to praise
Dr. Spock? Everybody knows his book.
Yeah.
Never read it, but they love it.
Do we have to praise this guy or kill him? You know. 1946, Kiss pogrom, a mob of civilians, police, and soldiers investigating a false kidnapping allegation attacked Jewish Holocaust survivors in Kielce, Poland. 42 were killed and more than 40 are injured. What the fuck? Wow. That's terrible. 48, Palmiro Togliatti, leader of the Italian Communist Party, was shot and wounded near to the Italian parliament in an assassination attempt. Wow. 49, Czech tennis star Jaroslav Droviny and Vladimir Cernik defected while playing in a tournament in Gstaad, Switzerland. Droviny accepted Egyptian citizenship. Okay. 1950, R.E. Wayne was awarded the first Distinguished Flying Cross in Korea. All right. 1951, we have the first color telecast of a sporting event. It was CBS horse race.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, I tried to look this up, but I couldn't find anything. There's no images, no nothing. I mean, here's an image of a horse race, but that's not color.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Probably didn't have it recorded.
And I hope that's not part of the horse race. You know, that's an obstacle course.
Yeah.
You don't want them racing with a brick wall. So they'll stop and you'll keep going. 1951 as well, in his last race, 1948 Triple Crown champion Citation won the Hollywood Gold Cup by 4 lengths to become the United States' racing's first millionaire horse. We also have Ferrari took their first Formula One Grand Prix victory at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. 52, Stadium Ocean Liner SS United States crossed the Atlantic Ocean, returning to New York in a westward record time of 84 hours and 12 minutes. What about seconds, you know? 1953, first U.S. national monument dedicated to a black stadium to preserve the boyhood home of agricultural scientist and inventor George Washington Carver in Newton County, Missouri. Time out. Did we talk about this 10 years ago in 1943? We're getting the same, or maybe they erected the statue in 43 and then they tried to preserve his house in 53, because that's...
I think it could be.
Because let me go back here to 43 really quick. You know, 43. Oh, it's not even on here. Wow. So like, I'll show you. So apparently that's from like, no, I already looked it up on my phone. Like, so that is a discrepancy. My phone says 43. Primary source says 53. So maybe it was 53 or 43. One of those two. I don't know. So, anyway. Well, what else do we got here? 1953, 1954, 117 degrees Fahrenheit or 47 Celsius in St. Louis, Illinois, state record. We also have another 118 Fahrenheit or 48 degrees Celsius recorded in Warsaw and Union, Missouri, also state record. 55, 2 were killed and many were dazed by lightning strikes at Ascot racecourse in England.
Ah.
Wow, dazed, you know, yikes. 57, Soviet steamer Ishkabad sunk in the Caspian Sea, drowning 270 people. Ooh. Yikes. 57, Raria Atea took her seat in the National Assembly in Egypt, thereby becoming the first female parliamentarian, the first female member of the parliament in the Arab world.
Ooh, that is amazing.
There she is.
Wow.
You cheer, girl. You earned that. Go. You know, you take that. That's freaking epic, dude. You know? The first woman in any form of power in a freaking Islamist nation that's not, like, filleted, you know? It's epic, dude.
Go Egypt.
Yeah, hell yeah. 1958, Iraqi Army Brigadier Abd al-Karim Qasim formed, Brigadier General. He formed a military government after overthrowing the Iraqi monarchy in the July 14th revolution. 1958, Pope Pius XII published his 39th and last encyclical, Memenides Juvat, translating to "It's helpful to recall." So, yeah, it is. 59, USS Long Beach, the first nuclear-powered cruiser, was launched at Quincy, Massachusetts. And we have an image of that ship.
Yeah.
So, look at the bridge.
Yeah, it's
this big-ass box thing, you know? It looks so weird. It looks tough. It almost looks like top-heavy. But it's, let me show you. This is before they added the bridge. They still have it floating, and I guess to go put it on later. And here's an image of it shooting off a missile. That's a nuclear-powered ship, you know, first nuclear-powered cruiser. Epic. 1960, a fire raged through a Guatemala City insane asylum, killing 225 people and severely injuring another 300. That just sucks, dude. Like, they have nowhere to go. They're in an insane asylum. They're trapped. We also have Jane Goodall arrived at the Gombe Stream Reserve in present-day Tanzania to begin her study on chimpanzees in the wild. Goodall. Yeah. You know, studying, the primates, chimps, and everything.
Yeah, she's big with those.
Yep, there she is, right there. Well, that's not her. This is her. If it loads. It's not going to load. There she is. This is more... There she is, right there. All right. 1963, we have the 50th Tour de France. French cyclist Jacques Anquetil won his third consecutive general classification event. First rider to win Tour 4 times.
Oh.
You know, yeah. Now, oh yeah, okay. Here we go. So he did 3 consecutive. He did 1 before. So the 4 times isn't a future thing, because the exact next article is we have the 51st Tour de France. Jacques Anquetil of France won his 4th consecutive tour and was the first to claim 5 titles.
Ah.
So at some point before, he had 1 that was non-consecutive.
Yeah.
1964 as well, MLB Baltimore Oriole Bob Johnson's 6th straight hit as a pinch hitter.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool. 65, Israeli-Jordanian border fights. Wonder who started it. Better question, who kept annoying, the other side to swing the first punch. Oh. Always seems to be that way. 65 as well, U.S. Mariner 4, the first Mars probe passed at 6,100 miles, or 9,800 kilometers. Taking the first close-up photos of another planet. The photos took approximately 6 hours to be transmitted back to Earth. That's epic. The first photos of another world. There, look at that.
Yeah.
Mariner 4 transmitted this image of the Martian surface from 7,829 miles away. The first spacecraft to take close-up photographs of another planet. Well, that's a difference. This says first... Oh, yeah, the first close-up photos of another... Okay, so they're both saying the same thing. Okay, that makes sense. What else we got here? 1966, Richard Speck snuggled and killed 8 nurses in a Chicago dormitory. How? What... Like, was he on a spree, or was this, over a week?
I think it was a serial thing. I don't think he did it all at once, as I recall.
This makes it sound like it all, because this is all in a Chicago dormitory.
Oh, maybe he did.
I mean, unless he got away with it until the 8th. So, that would be even more disturbing. 1967, MLB Houston Astros Eddie Matthews hit his 500th home run off San Francisco Giants Juan Marichal.
Ooh.
Impressive for a pitcher, because Eddie Matthews was a pitcher, right?
No, he hit 500 home runs off San Francisco Giants Juan Marichal. So he's a batter.
But pitchers can bat.
Yeah, well maybe. Yeah, pitchers do bat. Or at least they did in '67.
Well, then why do I have this note here? Impressive for a pitcher.
Read it again. What does it say?
Well, it doesn't say anything about him being a pitcher. Like, somebody told me at one point that he was a pitcher.
And I put Eddie Matthews.
I'm doing that right now. Eddie Matthews, baseball player and manager, 3rd baseman. So no, it's not a pitcher.
No.
Well, huh?
No, you could say a pitcher if he was a pitcher. So he played 3rd base.
Batted left through rights. Oh, through rights.
Batted left through right.
Okay.
He's a right-hander that batted left-handed.
So he's not a pitcher. Why did I put that note in there? That's weird. 1967, Surveyor 4 was launched to the moon, exploded just before landing. Yikes. 68, Hank Aaron hit his 500th home run on San Francisco Giant Mike McCormick. Mm-hmm. Now, is Hank Aaron a pitcher?
No.
Okay. Oh, he will become the guy to break Babe Ruth's record. The previous article.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
68, Houston Astro Don Wilson struck out 18, defeating Reds 6-1 at Crosley Field in Cincinnati. 1969, Easy Rider, directed by Dennis Hopper, starring himself, Peter Fonda, and Jack Nicholson, was released. And I thought of a weird, idea. We should do a movie called Easy Riser. It's about somebody who wakes up in the morning. They rise. In the morning.
Weren't those scooters? Wasn't the name brand called a Riser?
Razor.
Oh.
Yeah. 1969, we have the football war between El Salvador and Honduras began, and I think this is
soccer.
Well, no, it was an actual war, over soccer.
Over soccer.
The football war, also known as the soccer war or the 100-hour war, was a brief military conflict fought between El Salvador and Honduras in 1969. Existing tensions between the two countries coincided when rioting during a 1970 FIFA World Cup qualifier, hence its nickname. The war began on July 14, 1969, when the Salvadorian military launched an attack against Honduras. The Organization of American States, OAS, negotiated a ceasefire on the night of July 18th. Salvadorian troops were withdrawn in early August. So they actually went to war to, attack, kill each other over a fucking game. How ridiculous. They take this stupid soccer crap way too seriously.
Is what it was over.
Well, there already were tensions, and this was just a straw that broke the camel's back. Well, what a silly straw, you know? So, what else do we got here? 1969, a 67-year-old Catholic civilian died after being attacked by RUC officers in Dungiven. Many consider this as the first death of the Troubles. We also have the United States $500, $1,000, $5,000, and $10,000 bills were officially withdrawn from circulation. Whoa! I didn't know they existed. Look at that. So, hold on a second. So who are these people? That's Grover Cleveland on the 1,000. John McKinley on the 500. James Madison on the 5,000. I can't read his name. Very... I can't read his name. Whoever the heck this guy was. And then... That looks like Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah.
On the 100,000.
Yeah.
What an asshole. You know? Like... You know, now I'm thinking about, you know, Woodrow Wilson and Donald Trump may have a lot of things in similarity, because Trump would definitely put himself on the 100,000 there. So, what else do we got here? 1972.
Well, he wasn't in power. I don't think he's even alive when he didn't do it.
In 1969, this was when these were withdrawn from the circulation.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when they were put in.
Sure. Okay.
1972, Jean Westwood was the first woman to head the Democratic National Committee. Cool. Plate umpire and catcher in a game where brothers. Bill Haller was umpire and Tom Haller was Detroit Tigers catcher. Kansas City Royals won 1-0. Okay, it almost seems like they could team, you know. So, 73, Phil Everly stormed off stage at Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California, and declared it into the Everly Brothers. Yeah. This stunt was planned as their last. This show was planned as their last. This exit was improvised, so he just did it.
So that was just
for a bit.
It was a bit. Yeah. Everly Brothers.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of them?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I recognize this guy. Why is he so angry?
Dream.
Yeah, I've heard about them. But why is he so angry?
I don't know.
1974, Billy Martin, MLB Texas Rangers manager, was ejected by an umpire from 2 games in one day during a doubleheader in Milwaukee. Wow, what did he do?
Different incidents, obviously.
Was he kicking sand? You know. Ted Bundy victims Janice Ott and Dennis Naslund disappeared from Lake Sammamish State Park in Washington. 1975, plans were announced for Epcot Center at Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
76, Democratic Convention in New York City nominated former Georgia Governor Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer, for president, and U.S. Senator Walter Mondale from Minnesota for vice president. Wasn't Walter Mondale... Oh, no, I'm thinking of... He wasn't the newscaster. That's somebody else, Mondale, right?
The newscaster? The Mondale News... No, I don't know the Mondale newscaster.
So, Clark Mondale, or am I being weird?
You're being weird.
Okay.
I don't know about Clark Mondale.
I don't know.
He was the vice president. Walter Mondale.
Why do I think that Walter Mondale was a newscaster? Hold on a second. Let's see if I... Eleanor Mondale. Okay, I wasn't thinking of her at all.
Well, Walter, what was the newscaster? Cronkite, yeah.
Why is Mondale in my head as a newscaster? I don't know. 1976, USSR banished dissident Andrei Amalek to the Netherlands. 77, North Korea shot down a U.S. helicopter, killing 3, and I bet they didn't receive any repercussions for that. We also have U.S. House established Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. It's the last thing that they actually have. Allen Ginsberg in 78 completed Plutonian Ode and blocked a trainload of fissile material headed for Rockwell's nuclear bomb trigger factory in Colorado. Now this pissed me off because like look, they're just sitting there on the train tracks.
Yeah,
it's like, that reminds me of the people who just go and just sit in the middle of the road, doing that protest. Dude, like I would just run them the fuck over. I don't care. I have a job to do. I don't care about your environmentalism crap. I have food to put on the table. I will run you over. 1978, Antonov Skarsky convicted of anti-Soviet agitation. Umpire Doug Harvey ejected Don Sutton after discovering 3 scuffed balls. That would do it.
Yeah. That's called doctoring the ball.
Yep. 81, Kevin Wade's Key Exchange premiered in London. What is that? Is that like a play? Is that a movie?
No idea.
Key Exchange. Theater. Okay, it's a play. So it sounds like a stage play. 82, musical film adaptation of Pink Floyd The Wall, directed by Alan Parker, starring Bob Geldof, and written by Roger Walters, premiered at the Empire Leicester Square in London.
Never heard of the movie, but Pink Floyd, The Wall.
No, of course. I've
album.
listened to that album many times.
Yeah.
All in all, you're just another brick in the wall.
Yeah.
I always found it very interesting. You don't need no education. Wrong. That's a double negative. You do need education. You know. 1983, Mario Brothers is first released by Nintendo in Japan as an arcade game featuring an Italian-American plumber. Yeah. Well,
Mario, Super Mario, yeah.
you know, there's a meme out there. It was talking about, hold on a second, Mario meme. Jump, Italian, collect coins. Let's see if I can find this. So, it's not finding it right here. But basically, the meme goes like, be like Mario. He's an Italian. Like, I'm gonna mute this mic because people might be offended by. And also, Mario is evil. Like, he was originally called Jumpman. He was in
Jumpman, Jump.
Yes.
Okay.
He was originally the antagonist of Donkey Kong.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was throwing the barrel? No, that was a monkey.
That was Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong is an ape.
Yeah.
And everything.
Monkey, yeah.
But yeah, and actually no, before that he was like a hold on a second. Original Mario. Let's see if I can find. Hold on a second. Jumpman, Donkey Kong. Before that, like it was way old. Like the original game. It's been before Donkey Kong. He was like Mario was like some like circus master, and he kept whipping Donkey Kong because there's more to all this. There's a reason why Donkey Kong kidnapped the princess at the beginning of this game, because he broke out of his shackles and he kidnapped his evil master's girlfriend. So then you play as the evil master and you get the girlfriend back, and then after this they have Diddy Kong, in which Mario then kidnaps and tortures Donkey Kong's nephew, or a child monkey. This is all lore.
Wow.
This is all lore.
Wow.
Mario is an evil thing. So, 1983, U.S. politicians Dan Crane, Republican, Illinois.
Republic, yeah.
Representative, Illinois? Well,
yeah,
what's
he's
the
a
R?
House of Representatives. He's a Republican
okay.
from Illinois.
Okay. And Jerry Studge, Representative, Rep. Okay, there we go, Rep.
He's a House of Representatives.
Yeah,
He's a
okay.
rep.
Well, I thought this original rep was Republican.
Oh.
But then the R confused me, so it's
Republican.
Representative, Democrat, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Admitted to sex with pages.
Yikes.
Are they fucking a book or something? What's happening?
No.
I know what. I'm making a joke. I'm making a joke.
Very good one. Very good one.
Thank you. I guess you can call it open and close. So, wait, wow! I didn't even mean to do that one. I didn't even mean that one. 1986, Motley Crue's Vince Neil began a 30-day sentence for vehicular homicide. He should have been executed. 1986, NASA's plan to implement recommendations of Rogers Commission. What is the Rogers Commission? I'm going to look that up here really quick. Rogers Commission report. Okay. It was written by a presidential commission charged with investigating... Oh, this is the Challenger.
Oh.
Okay. So, the Challenger...
First you have to have a commission to figure out what happened.
Rogers Commission. Well, yeah, if they're not wasting taxpayer dollars, what are they doing? So... Yeah. What else we got here? In 1986, Paul McCartney released a single press from the album Press to Play. I'll just press to stop, 86, Richard Miller became the first FBI agent convicted of espionage. Shalimar Howard Hewitt acquitted in Miami of drug charges. Who's that?
I don't know.
Howard Hewitt of Shalimar?
I don't know.
Why? Ao's time. Can I get through my life in 5 minutes?
No.
Stadium rocker Steve Miller's star was unveiled on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. Let's not forget what I've said before about Hollywood, Hollywoodland, the Holy Tree, Satanism, all that stuff. How the devil was an angel and he fell from from heaven.
Who's Steve Miller?
I have no idea. I'm just going off about this.
Steve Miller Band.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, I'm just going off about the whole the City of Angels, the Fallen Angel, Hollywood. The Holy Tree was used in witchcraft. There's so many things linking Southern California to the devil. It's inconceivable. 87 Greyhound bus bought Trailways bus for $80 million. Kind of weird. They're always declaring bankruptcy. I didn't realize they can buy something like that. Greyhound, that is.
Yeah.
87 as well. Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North concluded 6 days of congressional testimony. Rookie of the Year award was renamed to honor Jackie Robinson. So I guess the Jackie Robinson Award or something. Huh. So Taiwan ended 37 years of martial law. Took a while, but finally. 1988, 200,000 people demonstrated in Soviet Armenia for incorporation of Nagorno-Karabakh. Whatever that is. I'm going to do a surface level scratch of this. Karabakh movement. Well, the incorporation, I think they're trying to unify something. It was a national liberation movement. In Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh from 1988 to 91 that advocated for the reunification of the Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Oblast, NKAO, an autonomous enclave within Soviet Azerbaijan, within Soviet Armenia. So, they're trying to reunify or something. Karabakh movement, if anybody wants to read more about this. Moving on up, 1988 as well, Mike Schmidt passed Mickey Mantle with his 537th home run in the 7th place.
Third baseman for the Philadelphia Phillies.
88 WYHY radio offered $1 million to anyone who can prove Elvis is still alive. 89, Jessie Norman sung the French national anthem La Marseillaise at the Place de la Concorde in Paris to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the French Revolution. We also have a romantic comedy film When Harry Met Sally, starring Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, directed by Rob Reiner and written by Nora Ephron, was released.
Boy, I didn't realize that was that long ago, 89.
Yep.
It's an old movie.
Yep. 91, failed military coup in Mali. 82, 386 BSD was released by Leon Julz and William Julz, starting the open source operating system revolution. Linus Torvalds released Linux soon afterward. Good old Linux. I wish I was smart enough to operate Linux. Then I'd kick Microsoft the hell out of my house.
Never even heard of it.
It's an operating system.
Yeah, I got that from the article, but never heard of it.
Yeah, well, you have Windows, you have Mac OS, and then you have Linux.
Oh.
And then I'm sure there's others out there and everything, but Linux is the third place, to my knowledge.
Is it too difficult to operate or something?
No, but I mean, it's kind of like a mix between Windows and DOS.
Oh.
It still kind of has codes or prompts. Let me just look it up here really quick. Linux. I mean, this is what Linux looks like, I guess. Top 10 Debian-based Linux distributions for everyone. So it kind of looks like a little bit of Mac OS. Kind of, sort of. So, what else do we got here? 94, gas explosion at old age home in Milan. 27 were killed. Well, maybe if, Henry stopped farting. Yeah, I know how old people fart. Gas machines. Don't aim that at me. 1995, LA Dodger Ramon Martinez no-hit the Florida Marlins 7-0. 96, New York Yankees closer John Wetland set MLB record 24 consecutive saves. I wonder if this is connected because we also have the New York Yankees sweep the complete season series in Baltimore for the first time. So is that the same game?
Who cares?
What do you mean, who cares?
About whether they swept the series or not.
Well, because it's connected. It's the same year. They're both 96, and one after the other. They're both about the Yankees.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything about Baltimore, so I don't think it's the same article.
It's not the same article.
No.
But is it the same events? They both happened in 96. They're both about the New York Yankees.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
So did this event happen in this game? Is what I'm asking. Are they connected?
I guess so. I don't know.
1998, violence erupted in Richmond, South Africa, reflecting underlying political tensions between supporters of the ANC, the African National Convention, and Inkatha Freedom Party. 2001, Australian criminal Bradley John Murdoch murdered British tourist Peter Falconio and abducted his girlfriend in the Northern Territory. I wonder if the girlfriend was rescued. Yeah, that is nasty. That's terrible. You go on vacation, you end up getting killed, and your woman gets taken. Yeah. Yikes. Don't go to Australia. You would have thought he'd know. He's British. I mean, his people sent their people there for a reason. So, 2002, French President Jacques Chirac escaped an assassination attempt unscathed during Bastille Day celebrations. So during a Bastille Day parade at Champs-Élysées. 2007, Vladimir Putin announced that Russia will withdraw from the Treaty on Conventional Armed Forces in Europe in 150 days. That's kind of ominous, knowing what's going on now.
Yeah.
2008, The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan, starring Christian Bale and Heath Ledger, premiered in New York. 2009, Owl City, great band. Adam Young debuted major label album Ocean Eyes, now a 2-time certified platinum album with Fireflies, being certified diamond in 2023. Yeah, Owl City, man, great music.
Like I've never heard of it.
Yeah, well, I wanted to. There's one song in particular, "Hello Seattle." I wanted to do a music video about it. I even actually, like way back in the day, where I knew my friend who eventually moved up to, up into the Seattle area,
yeah,
wherever he was. Like,
he's in the area.
Yeah, I forgot exactly where he was, but
he's in Seattle.
Yeah, but I was asking him if he can like scout out areas to look, before because I was planning on coming up there.
Yeah.
Remember or whatever.
Yeah.
And I scouted out. I asked him to scout out places, to tape and everything because I had this idea about like leaving a camera. Running all day on the top of a building, with a view of Seattle and everything, and then like at the beginning, it just like the sun rises and everything, and then I had this whole plan, from that one music, from that one song, "Hello Seattle." Actually, hold on a second. "Hello Seattle." I'll explain it to you after. I'll just put this here for after the show. Moving on to 2009, Singapore experienced a seasonally adjusted and annualized growth of 20.4% in the second quarter as a result of increased pharmaceuticals production and construction, bringing the country out of the recession. Great. 2012, floods on the Japanese island of Kyushu killed 20 and displaced 250,000 people.
Whoa.
Holy crap, dude. We also have suicide bomber attacked a wedding reception and killed 22 people and injured 22 others in northern Afghanistan. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Go to a wedding, end up becoming a funeral. 2014, after 7 days, Israel had struck Gaza 1,320 times, while Gaza had fired 940 rockets at Israel. Seems a little one-sided there. Maybe we should stop funding Israel at their conquest. The Church of England voted in favor of allowing women to become bishops. Awesome.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah. The death toll from the West African Ebola outbreak passed 500, according to sources. 2014, the Egyptian government proposed a ceasefire in the Israeli-Gaza conflict. 2015, arms deal agreed between 6 world powers and Iran, limiting Iranian nuclear arms but ending sanctions. 2015, Harper Lee's second published novel, Go Set a Watchman, an early draft of To Kill a Mockingbird, went on sale in 70 countries.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We also have scientists from the Large Hadron Collider, the LHC, at CERN, announced the discovery of a new particle called the pentaquark. NASA's New Horizon probe performed the first flyby of Pluto and thus completed the initial survey of the solar system. I'm going to immature stats, but before I want to go back to that CERN thing. There's something weird is happening. Like Chick-fil-A did something where like they were doing like they pretty much admitted to doing a Mandela effect type thing. Like there's something going on between CERN turning off and Chick-fil-A is admitting something. I don't know, but I'm just saying this for anybody out there who's watching this to look it up. Like it was the Mandela effect about is it CICK filet or CICK or just CIC filet? Chick-fil-A or Chick-fil-A, and they had said it was this way, and all of a sudden now it's this other way, and they mentioned something about blah blah, people are finding out, they said something on their Twitter. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of weird stuff. Anyway, here's it flying by Mars.
Yeah.
And the good old heart on Mars there. So where's the heart on Mars? There it is.
Oh.
Yeah. 2016, a man plowed a truck into a Bastille Day celebration in Nice, France, killing 86 people and injuring another 434 before being shot by police. I'm going to look this up because I have a feeling that this guy, the one who drove the truck, was of a certain,
ethnicity?
Yeah. The driver was Mohammed Lahaj. Oh, what a surprise! I called it. He was an Islamist. Oh. What else do we got here? 2018, civilians killed in the Afghan war reached record high with 1,692 killed in first 6 months of 2018, according to the United Nations. Haitian Prime Minister Jacques Guy Lafontaine resigned after violent protests against fuel price rises. Huge iceberg looming over Inuit village, western Greenland, prompted evacuations in case it calved. Look at that, just ominously just looming over the village. Like, hold on a second, I have a better photo.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness! Does that not make one? Does that not want you to make to crap your pants, dude? Like, look at that! Like, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, good morning. What else do we got here? 2018, more than 300 people now reported killed in protests against government of President Daniel Ortega of Nicaragua. Russian covert agent Maria Butina arrested by the FBI in Washington, D.C. and charged with being an unregistered foreign agent. 2019, English Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton won a record 6 British Formula 1 Grand Prix at Silverstone, moving him 1 win clear of Jim Clark and Alan Prost 5. 2019, first Ebola case in Goma, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, a city of 1 million, as toll of outbreak reached 1,600 victims. Or did it? Is it all a lie? You know, I can't trust anything anymore. 2019, ICC Men's Cricket ODI World Cup at Lord's, London. After the first super over in an ODI, it was also tied. New Zealand and England are separated by a boundary countback, awarding England their first title. Player of the match, Ben Stokes of England, 84 not out and 98. Cricket.
Boundary countback. What the heck?
Cricket. I mean, dude, look at this guy. Even he's confused.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
what?
He's like, huh? Like, 2019, U.S. Presidential Donald Trump ignited racial controversy by tweeting 4 Democratic women of color go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from whence they came. Like, well, yeah, please do. Get out of here. 2020, a new study shows Andean condor, world's heaviest bird, can fly for 5 hours without flapping its wings. Just because its surface area is so big, it can stay aloft. Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Yeah. But just because its wings are just so massive, it can stay aloft on even like the smallest of current. It can catch it, you know?
Yeah.
So, what else do we got here? In 2021, drug overdose deaths in the U.S. rose by 30% to a record 93,000 in 2020, according to the CDC, brought to you by China. You know, they're the largest supplier of fentanyl in here. They're probably the ones who killed George Floyd. So maybe the blacks should stop attacking whites. They should start attacking, you know, the Chinese for killing Floyd. You know, so 2023, India launched its Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft from the Shanghai Space Center on the country's 3rd moon mission. That's cool. U.S. Actors Union, SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, AFTRA leadership went on strike with picket lines in L.A. and New York. Now, is this the writer's strike?
I think it is.
Yeah.
SAG, I don't know.
Well, that's the Screen Actors Guild, and this is the Actors Union.
Yeah.
But what's AFTRA?
I don't know.
Like, this is what, 2023? Yeah, here it is. SAG-AFTRA. Well, this is just telling me about Fran Drescher. I don't care about Fran Drescher. Why is SAG-AFTRA bringing me to Fran Drescher? I don't care about Fran Drescher. American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. Well, it's still just, it's nothing new about writers, so maybe the writer's strike is something else. We also have U.S. architect Rex Heuermann charged with 3 out of 11 possible murders in the Gigolo Beach murders dating back to 2007 on Long Island, New York. 2025, 3 articles left here, guys. Stadium billionaire Alice Walton opened the Alice L. Walton School of Medicine in Arkansas, United States, and covered tuition for the first 5 graduating classes.
Oh.
But was the education worth a damn? Or is it any? Is this brainwashing? You know, very much like how J.P. Morgan and all that stuff. He was a philanthropist, but he didn't set up our school system for the benefit of humanity. He set it up for his benefit. You know, to teach people how to be, workers. We also have a French woman, Gisèle Pelicot, received the Legion of Honor Award for her courage in testifying about her decades-long sexual abuse by her husband.
Yikes.
So what? You know. Like, that sucks for her, but why is she getting a freaking medal for it?
That's
ridiculous. Oh, you poor baby, here, have a medal. No, that sucks what she went through. But now she's getting a medal for it. That devalues the medal. What about the people who fought, bled, and died serving the nation? Now not speaking up because you're getting abused is the same thing? Go fuck yourself, you coward. Speak up.
It's almost like a bravery award for doing it.
But speak up. Speak up or shut up. And to get an award, that's ridiculous. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to belittle what she went through. That was horrible. But to get an award, that pisses me off.
But it's a hell of a lot harder to speak up than just speak up when you're stuck in that and you're afraid your life's on the line.
Is that really a life worth living then? So,
it's not for us to decide.
Well, I don't agree with getting an award. Anyway, last but not least here, World Chimpanzee Day. Jane Goodall released Dr. Jane's Dream, the Goodall Center of Hope in Tanzania, an immersive experience of pivotal moments from Dr. Goodall's life and the evolution of her work. I want to visit that. I want to visit that so bad. That sounds so awesome. Like an immersive, I want to get in there,
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion, although a substantial portion. I'd say we covered about 85-90% between two different sources. 34 pages we've gone through in an hour and change here. So anyway, what's the code word today? Let us know if they're still watching.
That's a good question. What do we got?
Chimpanzee. Put chimpanzee. And if you don't know how to spell it, chimps. Well,
CHIMPS.
Chimps, chimpanzee, great. Whatever. Put that in the comments. Let us know you're still watching. Anyway, where were we at? For your dose of Fast Feds Daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all you and all of us, I am Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! Alright, whoops. Here we go. And here we go.